welcome to the Enterprise Futures podcast called Wintrepreneurship. I'm Josh, I'm the Enterprise Officer. If you do want to start your own business, do drop us an email at enterprisefutures@winchester.ac.uk. Today we are joined by Connie. Hello.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Okay, and today we're talking about social enterprise.
Yes, yeah.
The world of it, and we'll talk mostly about the benefits, I believe. I don't think we're going to talk too much on the other side of it. So what I'd just like to start with is just tell us a bit more about the business.
Yeah. So we are a social enterprise, and we also call ourselves a community project, and we operate as a zero waste shop, so a plastic-free refillable shop. You bring your own containers, and we sell about 500, 600 kind of grocery products, from dry food to snacks and sweets to cleaning products, toiletries, all these different types of things. We set up in July 2020, that's when we opened the shop, but prior to getting the keys and opening and building the shop, we ran a crowdfunder because we, as volunteers, there was about 10 of us as volunteers, we wanted to build a shop, but we didn't have the capital, so we decided to raise money on crowdfunder, and we raised like crazy 44 grand in about 56 days, something like that. Which is fantastic, and it showed us that people actually wanted the shop. We set the campaign up as kind of like an all or nothing, just to see, okay, well, if we don't raise the 40 grand, then people obviously don't want the shop. And they did, and yeah, we've been open. We're run by volunteers. There's about 60 or so volunteers on the books at the moment, and we've got 4 paid staff members managing the shop on the day-to-day activities, but the actual kind of board of, or the committee is what we call it, are volunteers as well.
Nice, thank you very much. And just, I know it's not on the question we discussed before, but about crowdfunding.
Yes, yeah.
It's a really useful way, I believe, of getting that money in through the door. Because you're not only just getting the money, but you're also getting your customers.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Just getting their loyalty early days,
Yeah.
because they've invested, so they want to see their money back.
Absolutely.
So that's a really good way of doing it. How did you find the crowdfunding experience?
It was crazy. So we set it up for, like, crowdfunder has a limit of how many weeks you can run it for, and then we actually got an extension by 1 week. And like I said, 40 grand was our target. If we ended the campaign and we didn't get all of it, it would be refunded to people. And I'd say, as much as I'm a very positive and optimistic person, it only really looked like we were going to do it in the last week. I think we had about 7 days to go and 16 grand to raise, and we were getting a little bit worried. And then, as most crowdfunding campaigns go, right at the very end, it just shot up. It was fantastic. I remember we had the Labour Party in our area in Portsmouth organised like a fundraising event about maybe a week before the final deadline, and that was when we were on, it was about a couple of days and we were on 35, and we just announced that night we've got 35, I think we're actually going to do it. So the last week was just like such crazy party energy, and then prior to that it was really fun, but like a very big task. But I'm a fan believer in, like, I think I did believe we were going to do it deep down, as much as I was kind of doubting, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we also got a 5 grand donation from NatWest, because we're a predominantly female-owned organisation, which was really helpful. So once we hit 15,000, NatWest gave us 5, so it went up to 20. So we're really grateful that we had that support. And there was a local lady who worked in crowdfunder in Portsmouth who also really just gave us all these tips of, it is, as much as it's a very big task, there is kind of like a checklist of, if you make sure these are ticked off, you're most likely to be successful.
Yeah.
So it was great fun. Yeah.
It's just good with crowdfunding, just to make sure you're planning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plan every element to
Yeah.
it. And like you say, a lot of it doesn't come until the end, until last week. So it's just making sure that you're patient. And
Yeah.
like, we haven't got it halfway through, so we're going to cancel.
Yeah.
It's about taking time.
Yeah.
And it will take time. It's just got to keep pursuing it.
Yeah.
Really.
Absolutely.
So this sort of carries on going forwards, is a bit of a deep and philosophical question. Is why did you start the social enterprise or community project?
Yeah.
What made you want to do it?
So me personally, well, the people who created it, there's about 8 or 9 of us. I'm one of them. The founder, I suppose you can say, the person whose idea it was, they wanted a shop just so that there was a community in Portsmouth that was going forward with zero waste, and they were really involved in the zero waste community in Portsmouth. Myself, I had no clue about anything plastic free or zero waste or eco-friendly, but in my first semester, of university, we were given a task to write a 2,000-word report on anything you can pick. And I chose zero waste shops in the UK because I thought, okay, this is quite a really unique solution to the plastic problem. Instead of recycling plastic, it's not using it at all. And I looked, and Portsmouth and Southsea, where I currently live, is like a really hip area. It's like really eco-friendly, or you kind of get that vibe. And so I just looked around and I was like, why isn't there a plastic-free shop in Portsmouth? And I discovered that there had been a meeting of people, about 50 people, saying, why isn't there a shop? We'll build one, let's form a committee. And about 2 weeks after that meeting, I joined and I said, hey, I'm a first year business student. I've got these skills, I'd love to help, I've got the passion. So for me personally, I think I was just really excited and I thought this is going to look fantastic on my CV. But then as we've developed and as we've built the shop, I realised that in terms of my career, yeah, it's fantastic. It's so great to have it on my CV. But personally, I find that it really aligns with my values that I now have. Like I've kind of evolved with it and I've realised, hey, this is actually amazing for the community. Like not only do we have a really strong community of volunteers who come in, who I love and we chat like all day when we're on shift together. But like you said earlier about the sorry, like you said earlier about when we crowdfunded, not only does it guarantee the money, but it guarantees loyal customers. The customers who come in our shop are just the loveliest. Like it's the most lovely retail environment I've ever worked in. Everybody's really nice, has passion for helping the planet, is really patient with us when we make mistakes, and just wants to see the shop grow. And yeah, somebody, one of our volunteers who comes regularly said the other day, like, this is a lovely little seed that's been planted in Southsea and it just grows. It's really great. So yeah, it's just lovely.
Yeah, it's a nice one. So I'm just thinking then, it's just a point to make for the podcast more than anything, is that it doesn't have to be just your idea to start your own business or social project. You could be working with other people. And a lot of people who either come through myself, get support through me, or they speak to me, or just while I'm out and about, I don't have an idea, maybe you can work with other people's ideas. Being entrepreneurial isn't just about starting a business, it's about starting something different. You could be with someone, you could not, you could do it yourself, it could be based on something else. It's entirely up to you what you do, but it's all about trying to apply yourself to that situation.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of, and I'm going to emphasise it here, is that you're still a student.
Yeah.
Third year, I believe. Yes. So you started this a year ago, 2020, or 2 years ago now?
So I joined in this September of 2018.
Yeah.
We then raised the money in the summer of 2019. Then we took a little while to get the keys and we opened July 2020.
Yeah. So you've done that through your student life, which is great. It just shows it can be done.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to ask the next, and this is the last question, so it's not too hard of one, is the personal benefits of starting specifically a social enterprise.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a difference between how it benefits you as a social enterprise to how it starts as a limited company.
Yes.
So what were the benefits to yourself first? We'll start there.
So let me try and have a think. So I suppose there's kind of two parts. There's like my career, and there's like my like personal, I suppose, satisfaction, like how happy I am and how like kind of like my well-being. For my career, it is like the most invaluable thing. It's actually given me, because I've like started an enterprise at like a young age, I've got crowdfunding experience, I've got experience in payroll and marketing and like setting up and all these different types of things, which, like you said earlier, it wasn't just me, it's as a group, but I've learned so much as a group going through that. So my CV looks fantastic now. And it's kind of, it's meant that after university, for example, instead of rushing out to a full-time job, I'm going to wait a little bit and work on the shop and just tie up a few loose ends and do all these projects that I want to do. So it's kind of like, I know that my CV looks fantastic. I don't have to carry on working straight after uni to like build it and all that. So that's fantastic. But on a personal level, it just makes me feel really good knowing that I'm doing something to combat the climate crisis. I'm doing something that Portsmouth really wants. I'm kind of responding to the community, and I see our customers and volunteers come in and get really excited about what we sell and the lifestyle changes that they're able to make. It also has meant that I've been able to I wouldn't say go completely plastic free, but compared to when I first started this project, I was using plastic all the time. Whereas now, I mean, I work in a plastic free shop, so most of my house I've managed to make swaps and changes and stuff like that, which is really satisfying. I was talking the other day about how the kind of buzz that you get when you go shopping, you get quite a similar buzz when you, it sounds really daft, maybe it's only me, but when you see your bin bag like shrink, it's really weird when you're like, oh, I'm not putting anything in my bathroom bin. Like it's a really nice buzz. So that's been really nice to feel like I'm accomplishing that on a personal level. I see the impact of my shop like on me, and customers say it makes a really positive impact on them. But I suppose just personal satisfaction, it's really, really nice to know that I'm making a difference, and it's made me realise that as much as I'm not dissing for-profit businesses at all, like I don't think that's the path that I want to go down. I love non-profits.
Yeah.
I love knowing that the work that I'm doing and the skills that I have, which could be applied to a for-profit business, I'm applying it to something that has a lot more meaning and a lot more impact, and that's helping people and the planet. So yeah, it makes me feel great.
Yeah. Perfect. So there's a point to be made there about you might not have gone completely plastic free, but if everyone does that,
exactly,
it's sort of that group effort to make that change. And given the university's sort of status as the University for Social Justice and Sustainability, it's that sort of everyone should be making that impact. As students of this university, you are sort of also representatives of that title.
Yeah.
And you making that change is a perfect example of that. So we're going to, part two of this question is the benefit it's had to the community. You can talk about either the Portsmouth community or the wider community. It's entirely up to you what kind of community you talk about, including the volunteers and stuff. Anything you want to talk about, how has it impacted the community?
Well, to be honest, I think I didn't expect how much of a community we would have formed. So we have volunteers who come and support us in the shop, and it's so lovely to like build relationships with them. It's also really fantastic that they bring their own creative ideas, whereas we as like the staff and the directors who kind of work on it every day or every week, we might not see, or we might not have time to, I don't know, make something really pretty and organised or whatever. So I know that for our volunteers, it's been so lovely making like a relationship and relationships with people with a common purpose. For our customers as well, I see so many that we're in quite a high footfall area, and the best thing is when you'll get people who maybe want to pursue this lifestyle of more eco-friendly shopping habits, but you'll also get people who probably would never think about it but have just gone, oh, what's this place? And you'll see them coming once, and then you'll see them coming next week, and then the week after that they've got their whole shopping basket full of stuff. So that's been really lovely. But another part of it as well, we've made so many partnerships with local suppliers of things like bamboo boxes or like kind of more gifty stuff like that, but also like reusable menstrual pads, reusable wipes, things like this from local suppliers. So we've been able to bolster the local economy, which has been fantastic, and also partnerships with like schools, for example. Lately we've had a lot of primary schools ask if we can come and talk with them. We've also got this big display window, which is kind of a bit annoying because it's wasted space. But one of our volunteers, she decorates it every month with a kind of team around her, and her daughter works in a primary school. So that primary school kind of supply us with like handmade crafts that Class V5 from Cranes Water School has made all these decorations and stuff like that. So we're kind of like a link so that they can feel like they've helped, and they have really, really helped the school, but also we can help educate and inspire. You do get a lot of children come in, because we've got a little sweetie section. They normally have their mum or their dad in tow, just like, oh, what's this then? They're like, get me some chocolate blossoms. So I think that, there's so many more organisations that we work with in Portsmouth, and it's been so lovely to make those relationships. And I think Portsmouth in particular is a really unique place because it's got so many independent local organisations, businesses, non-profits, for-profits, and it's so great to be part of that. It's really nice, yeah.
And last thing, do you have any social media that can find you on?
Yes, yeah, definitely. So we have Facebook and we have Instagram. If you just type in Package Free Larder, it should be on there. You can also learn more about our mission and our values and our story and how we crowdfund it on our website, which is thepackageFreeLarder.org.
outline in the description below so people can just click on that without search anything. Other than that, thank you very much for coming on today. I hope people do get in contact. Thank you for watching. Do keep an eye out on the rest of the social media for the next episode. Thank you very much.
Thank you.